Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm just going to be giving you guys my little breakdown of the most important things that happen in The Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 episode 9. So here we go. I wanted to talk a little bit about Sheree and this whole Tyrone situation. So, in one of the scenes in the episode, Sheree is at her daughter's podcast, and it just so happened that while she was there, breaking news came in that there was a story saying that Tyrone leaked the article saying that he and Sheree are no longer together. First of all, I thought that was just very interesting that breaking news came in exactly at the same time that Sheree and her daughter were doing the podcast. That's just me. That's just how I felt. I don't know if that was staged or what, but I thought that was very interesting. So Sheree just bashes Tyrone. Like most people, says that he's broke. She's not surprised. He's the one leaking all the information. She says that the pictures that were leaked, that was all him. And I'm kind of like, well, how did he get a hold of the pictures? But anywho, she's over him at this point, apparently. I just think that it's a sad situation for her to be of this particular age that she is. She also mentions the fact that she had some red flags that she ignored, and you allow somebody to do this to you. It's like, when are you going to learn to value yourself? And I think at the end of the day, just watching how Sheree has moved this season, I don't really think that she has high self-esteem. Like, this woman is a beautiful woman, but I just don't see acknowledging or realizing her self-worth. I hope that the life coach is helpful. I don't really know. But if not, girl, get into some type of therapy and love yourself. Even her daughter was like, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that. It's almost as if she needs her self-esteem to be built up. Like I said, I feel bad for her. And that makes me feel bad for her. And that enables me to wrap my mind around why she would put herself in this situation. Just because you look so beautiful on the outside and you're always wearing these beautiful clothes and your hair is always on point, that doesn't mean that there isn't some inward turmoil happening. And I think that's what I see with Sheree. So Marlo and her nephews, given Marlo's background, being adopted and everything, I was surprised that she kicked them out and that she actually, according to her, told them to get the F out. I feel like, girl, you should know better. Just as a person, everybody wants to say, well, when you took on this responsibility, you should have known X, Y, and Z. My take on that is Marlo doesn't have any kids. Marlo is not a mother. So there's certain things, has never seemed to desire to be that. I've never heard her say, oh, I've wanted to have children or anything like that. So I'm going to give her a slight pass and say she was unprepared. Clearly, she was unprepared. I think that we can all simply agree on that. But given her background and coming through the foster care system and everything, you know what it feels like to be rejected. So why would you subject your nephews to that? It's evident she did not know how to handle this particular situation, and she did a horrible job. And the fact that she doesn't seem to show remorse in the episode for the fact that she kicked them out, the way that she kicked them out, I should say, is troubling. It just is. But these boys were clearly triggered by having to see their mom and seeing that their mother did not want to do what she needed to do to bring herself back home to them. They probably are happier with Marlo based upon the lifestyle and the love and the, up until this point, sense of security that they might have had with Marlo, because Marlo has had these boys for 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. So I think, obviously they probably would want to stay more with their auntie Marlo than go back home with their mom. But I think that they were just totally traumatized by that. Kids aren't always going to tell you what's wrong with them. So one time you ask the question, or maybe twice or 3 times, you might not get the truthful answer, especially if they don't feel like they're in a safe space to express themselves. Marlo handled the situation wrong. I'm happy that she didn't kick them out and just leave them with somebody random, that she brought them to her sister's house and that her sister took them in. And I hope that after these 30 days, Marlo can get it together and understand the task that she has as being their caregiver. Overall, these are good boys. Like, some of the stuff that they're doing, let's be honest, that's what teenage boys do. But obviously the other side of it is, yes, they're hurting because of the situation with their mom. And I don't even know where the father is, so that's probably a whole nother situation. But yeah, that's my take on that. This Sonya and Drew situation, I'm ready for it to be over. I don't understand. I love Sonya. Let me just preface this by saying that. But I don't understand this whole situation with her and Drew. I feel like Sonya wants to get her peach for next year, and she knows that she's going to have to stir it up with someone, and Drew is an easy target. That's just honestly how I feel. How do you go from calling this woman on the phone and asking her to come pick you up when you got into your car accident to totally bashing her and her husband and saying you don't know what they do in the next breath? Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. And if you guys remember, the whole reasoning why Sonya said that she had an issue with Drew to begin with is the fact that Drew was pointing her finger in Sheree's face at Brooklyn's birthday party. So my thing is to Sonya, you didn't have an issue with the whole fallout between Kenya and Marlo? You were okay with that? Because that's the same basic behavior. They got into an argument and they stepped to one another. The whole thing with Sonya saying that she don't think that Ralph and Drew are busy is BS. You was trying to have a moment. You was trying to throw shade. When I first saw it, when I saw it again, it don't matter how many times I'm going to see it, that's what I saw. So just be honest and own it. So the whole situation with Fatum, I believe her name is, doing the background check and all of that on Drew, that's nothing but the work of Sheree. Sheree is going to make sure that she gets her peach next season. Do y'all hear me? This whole Tyrone thing, this whole She by Sheree relaunch, this whole now Fatum doing the background check on Drew. Sheree know what she doing. This is all Sheree. There's no reason why this woman needed to do a background check on Drew and her husband. And then to sit up there and say that Drew got into your face almost as if she was threatening you with violence. Girl, that's a total fabrication. I'm not really liking Fatum. I don't understand why she's on the show. You know, it's like Sheree's one good friend, I suppose. Maybe that's why. But no, she's gonna have to go. You running background checks on people. What is wrong with you? You have too much time on your hands. Kenya being totally lit at Sheree's party was everything to me. Homegirl at one point got into the camera. I mean, Kenya was totally entertaining, 100%. And she was really drunk. Did y'all see her eyes? She really was drunk, but she was just looking like she was having the best time of her life. I don't know what led to her drinking so much because y'all know Kenya and Candy don't really drink, but I was here for it. I actually am enjoying Kenya this season. I have been enjoying Kenya since that Ultimate Girls trip that she did. And I feel like not having people like Portia and Nene on the show definitely makes her look great. It just really does. Because outside of Marlo, who deserves what she gets from Kenya, there's really nobody that Kenya is beefing with. So I think that she's more free. And I'm just really enjoying her. And I hope that she continues to be like this. Lisa Wu going after Sonya. At first I was like, you know, wow, Lisa Wu was making sense with some of the things that she was saying. And then she got loud and I was like, okay, she's drunk. I didn't get it at first. And I'm like, Lisa, did y'all hear how she chopped Sonya all the way down to the ground and told her to basically shut the F up and let me finish what I'm saying? I was like, okay, Lisa. Say what you gotta say and mean it. I just thought it was interesting. You know, I don't have any real feelings towards Lisa one way or the other, but she definitely entertained me with this episode for that short period of time. I was here for it. Drew and Fatum get into it, and Drew was just being shady towards this woman from the time that she recognized who she was. She was like, you know, you look familiar, and then I remember who you were. I was like, ooh. And then the whole time Fatum, after Kenya had outed her and told Drew that she had did the background check on her, the whole time that Fatum is trying to, I guess, explain why she did what she did, and Drew was only concerned about this salad and putting dressing on the salad. I thought that that was hilarious. At the end of the day, like I said, I already said what I had to say about the Fatum situation. I don't know if Drew and her husband have all these aliases, and if they do, so what? Like, what does it change? What does it do? I don't understand. Like, who cares? Marlo invites the women to a road trip at the Blue Ridge Mountain. She's trying it with Kenya. Okay, so Marlo had a moment with Candy, and I thought that Candy was so supportive to Marlo. You could tell that Candy was not down with Marlo kicking out the boys. Candy takes care of her family. Like, she takes care of, from what I understand, her entire family. So I totally get why she had an issue with that. She, you know, gave Marlo some sound advice and things like that, and I could respect that. So now all of a sudden, Candy's a good friend to Marlo. She a good friend until she find out what you've been saying about her behind her back. And the episode closes with Marlo inviting the ladies to Blue Ridge Mountain. She kind of makes a little joke at Kenya because at one point Kenya was like, "Is my wig straight?" I was like, "Okay, Kenya owning the wig this season." Marlo says to Kenya, "You know, I'm so happy that you are embracing this whole wig thing." Of course, I'm paraphrasing. She's like, "You know, because there used to be a time when we could not say anything about Kenya in a wig." And Marlo is right about that. You know, Kenya was getting real upset with Portia's friend Tanya, whatever her name was, mentioning that wig, okay? But Marlo, girl, you went from breaking down with Candy to now you coming after Kenya. So they were toasting and Marlo looked like she was about to break Kenya's glass. And I'm just like, see, all of that is unnecessary. Anywho, that's all I have to say about this episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.